Hi everyone, it's Gurjan, aka Gigi,
This is Victoria.
Namika.
and this is A Word at
Word
the
at the
Table. And we have a special guest. Vicky, you wanna go ahead and introduce him?
Guys, I want to do like an introduction like Sway. He'll be going on.
Okay.
He is a singer, he is a talk show host, he's a dancer, a vlogger. Yeah, he is all an Elquan experience. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Elquan in the house.
Oh, see, I gotta do more shows. This helps my self-esteem. Like I gotta do more shows.
Yeah, actually, all that. So, Elquan, how about you? We want to thank you for being on our show. How about you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, how do I follow up that intro? Well, like you said, my name is Elquan Elliot. I currently live in Los Angeles. I'm an actor, a singer, a dancer. I vlog. I am a YouTuber. I'm an influencer sometimes. And I want to make a difference in this world. So I would love to have my own show. Thank you for putting that out there, Victoria.
I mean, already. I feel like
I'm gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
We trying to be Oprah. We trying to roll up like Oprah. We trying to have a whole county in Santa Barbara. That's what we trying to do over here. Okay. You all invited, just so you know. The moment I sign the lease, you all invited.
Yeah. So we have proof. Yeah. You said that we was gonna be
Right?
Nothing.
Got it on camera. You can't deny it.
All right. So you're in California. It's June, right? Can you explain to us, explain to anybody who may be unfamiliar, what exactly is Pride?
Okay. So pretty much Pride Month is a month where a lot of corporations take it upon themselves to not be homophobic for 30 days. It starts back on July 1st. No, seriously. Seriously, Pride is something that is very needed. It's a celebration of all things queer. Now, queer is a good thing. You're allowed to say queer now. There was a time you'd get smacked up for that, but now it's a good thing to say. And it accompanies everybody in the LGBT community collectively. So that means the lesbians, the gays, the trans, the bisexuals, everybody is a part of the queer community. And some new things that just keep getting added on every other day.
Like asexuals in there, intersex is in there. Yeah.
Questioning, pun, all the above.
It's a lot to learn.
You telling me in the back of my day, gay, lesbian, trans. That's it. If you didn't fall in there, you ain't on the list. That's it. You can't come in here. And then bi. But that's controversial to some people.
That's another topic.
That's controversial to some people.
I don't know why. Why is it in the community that people don't like bi people? I don't understand that.
Because I think a lot of people associate bisexuality with something that they had to do to make it acceptable on their journey. So like a lot of people had to come out as bi in order for them to feel some sort of acceptance, to try to give their family or their friends a glimmer of hope to say, hey, yes, I am queer, but I'm not that queer.
Yeah, like sometimes, you can see me with
I might end up with a woman.
Yeah.
Knowing good done well that ain't gonna happen.
Right. So that was just like a cover up, and now it's like an issue if it said, yeah.
Definitely.
Oh wow. Okay. I did not know that.
A lot of people in the community do not care for bisexual people. It's very like, girl, you can't sit with us. I don't particularly care for that though. I don't like that. Listen, everybody come over here. Anybody that want to come sit over here, come sit over here. Let's sit at the table for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I noticed that, like, even within the community, like trans people have to like, voice themselves more like boisterously. And then like bisexuals are like, we exist. I'm actually bisexual. I never understood that. I'm like, but then again, in the Black community, there's a lot of like, we fight amongst ourselves. So never mind. Like, yeah.
But also, I think a lot of people have to understand that trans thing, not I won't say thing, but the trans movement is way different than the LGB or the LGQ other one, not in this the trans. It's a little bit different because they're fighting for gender identity. whereas we're fighting for a sexual lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, they're fighting to live in the body that they feel the most comfortable, or they feel like they should have been born in, which is way different because, you know, as a gay man, I don't have to fight with nobody about no bathroom.
Yeah.
You know,
you can present, you know, it's not like someone looks at you and you're like, oh, that's a trans, you know, it's like,
you know, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. I get damn all the time, and I'm like,
wait, people think you trans?
People think, be like, hey, ma'am.
Ma'am, where?
It's someone behind me.
Oh goodness.
So did you celebrate Pride this year?
Say it again.
Do you celebrate Pride, or is that just like a corporation thing for you?
I mean, I go to the parties.
Okay. All right.
I don't go to the parade unless I'm in it. Because why do I need to see people walk past me? I don't.
Well, I have a quick question. Is Pride Month similar to how Black History Month is to Black people?
Not talking schools.
Yes. But I think that that's also a problem, because I think that it's so weird to me that it's only confined in a month. Like, I don't like the idea of Black History Month because, you know, why? This is we're a part of American history. The gay rights movement is a part of American history because it happened here in America.
Right.
All these things, you know, women's rights, all these different things are things that happen in America. So why do we exclude it from just general information that we give people? Why do we confine it? Why on February do you think it's appropriate for you to sit over here and give us watermelon and fried chicken in the cafeteria?
Not the watermelon.
I'm sorry, but did y'all see that story that IKEA was serving watermelon?
I did, and they got so much backlash.
Wait, so I think they served soul food that included watermelon and fried chicken. I don't think it was exclusively watermelon and fried chicken.
But that's I like, right?
Person said, I didn't verify, so I don't know.
I'm not going to know Swedish people for no soul food. That's a lie. Let's go to, if you want soul food, go to Black-owned businesses. Don't go to Sweden for soul food. You know, let them. They got the meatballs. That's enough. Let them do that over there. That's them. You know, that's what they do. You know, let us have our soul food. I don't know. Why are you putting that on the menu for? I don't need cornbread to buy a sofa. Like, what's going on over here?
Because at this point, they know what they're doing. They know. They know.
People like to use Black Rage as like a form of advertisement. You know, it's like they get their name in the news, and it's like, oh yeah, we're sorry, but y'all talking about us. Like, you know, they love to do that.
And then they put on these little programs for like a little bit to show diversity and that they love us, and like, okay, all right.
We have that one Black employee that works in the back. See, we're all diversified. Lester's been here for 32 years. He's like father to us all. Like, girl, that ain't what we're talking about. But okay, love it for you.
Right.
You feel like people do that with Pride Month too, right? Mm-hmm. It's just a showcase.
Why is there a Pride section in Target?
Oh yeah, the rainbow always comes out.
I walked past it. I was just so ashamed. I just had to cover my face. Like, I can't look at this foolishness. Because come July 1st, y'all gonna be right back to your normal shenanigans.
Right.
But for 30 days.
Who celebrated Juneteenth though? Speaking of like celebration of Blacks and stuff, who celebrated Juneteenth this year? This was our second annual official Juneteenth, right?
Right.
Last year was like the first official. This year was the second.
Well, I think
nobody did anything for Juneteenth.
Well, I went to a parade here in Indianapolis.
Oh, nice.
I was very disappointed.
I mean, there's like 5 Black people in Indianapolis.
Well, was that a parade or just
it was
walked around?
It was a whole lot of people, but I think it was just not well organized. And this was the 5th year they were doing it, and I was very disappointed. But my sister went to one in Cleveland. She lives in Ohio, and she had a very good experience. So I guess they're trying. I'll go again next year and support, but it was a huge disappointment. And yes, I was embarrassed because there were others there because it is Indiana, but I was like, oh God.
That's not indicative of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know here in Brooklyn on Flatbush, they unveiled a George Floyd monument in the morning on Juneteenth. It's pretty huge. It's like dead in the middle of Flatbush. Can't miss it. So I thought that was very powerful. But that's about it that I attended. I didn't really do much. I guess I gotta get more into it, but I didn't do much, to be honest.
I was actively looking for, I was like, who has a barbecue? What's going on? The rain said stay home. People were canceling. I did nothing, you know? So I'm upset.
Something next year. We should.
I know. No, next year.
I got you next year.
All
next
right,
year, I'm going out there, my dashiki and everything.
Come on.
I got you there.
Yeah.
I'll leave
They had something. Okay, won't be doing that, but they had something in Leimert Park. Unfortunately, I found out the day after. So yeah, it's usually how that goes. Like everyone's like writing about it, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? Oh, it was yesterday. But in my defense, I'm a terrible Black person because I didn't know about Juneteenth until the episode of Blackish. So with that being said,
I don't watch Blackish.
Yeah. That's where I found out about it. So
y'all watch Blackish? I don't watch that.
I do, and I blame it on. I just stay on immigrants, so that's why I didn't know about it.
I didn't know about it either. It's like a couple of years ago, and I was like, "What's that?"
No,
that's sad.
Remember when we went?
We were failed.
Gigi, remember we went to Odie's barbecue, and one of her friends was telling us about that. That's when I first started learning about Juneteenth. You weren't paying attention, were you?
I was probably drinking.
What about that steak?
History, my Black history. What about that drink over there? Oh man. What did you do anything, Victoria? Or
I was trying. Honestly, I was trying. Like, I feel more excited about Juneteenth than Memorial Day or 4th of July because I personally like to gatekeep things. I'm like, this is just for us guys, yay! That's the type of person that I am. So it's like if something is designated just for me, and I don't think that it's like commercialized yet. I don't think so. If I see a Juneteenth sale, then I'll start to get upset. But right now, I'm
next year.
Yeah.
Next year.
They'll start.
They're gonna have a Juneteenth extra value meal at McDonald's.
I don't want to hear that.
Oh man, KFC might have a special for Juneteenth.
I don't want to hear that. So Elquan, we are like a faith-based podcast. What would you say your religion is?
I'm spiritual.
Okay, so we're not checking any boxes.
No.
So what does that mean exactly?
I believe there is a higher power. I just don't hold myself to the Bible. I don't hold myself to the Quran. I don't hold myself to any specific faith. I just believe that I believe in the universe. I believe in a higher power. I do pray and all those type of things. I just do not believe that you have to live your life solely based off of what a particular book says. Sorry if I offended anybody.
No,
you did not.
No, thanks for your honesty.
Yeah.
So how did you grow up though? Like what was you had a close relationship with your grandmother, right? What was your grandma asking?
Well, yes, she's cool. I grew up mostly with my mother. I didn't really know my father's side of the family until I was like 17, and that's when I moved to New York. So, and we lived in Maryland. So every Sunday it was going to church. And what happened was I enjoyed it, but I really just never felt connected to it. And as I gotten older, I kind of went further away from it because, at a point in my life, I volunteered at an LGBTQ center. And when you get to hear some of those stories about how this book that is supposed to be taught love and it's supposed to be you showing love to people, that's what the Bible means to me, has people throwing their children out.
Yeah.
You know, when you hear the trans girls say that, you know, I was thrown out at 16 and I have to do certain things in life because, you know, I don't want to say what those things are because I want to respect your program. But, you know, I have to do certain things in life in order to survive because I don't have an education. My parents will not speak to me. And to hear those stories and when you dig deep into it, you're like, well, why is that? It's because of this book. You know, but that's their reasoning behind it. Not saying that that's what it is, but for them, that is their reasoning behind it. That's what justifies it to them.
And it's just continuing hurt. It's not, I don't think, again, I could be wrong, but like, I don't think you're doing the will of God by ostracizing your children, by like stopping love. You're just continuing hurt. And the enemy that's what the enemy wants. The enemy wants to destroy families. The enemy wants to destroy people's individual self-esteem and all that. Like, it just wants to perpetuate hurt. That's what really hurts me. So
absolutely.
I'm not in the community, but I like stories like that affect me because I'm like, wow, like
I agree.
People don't choose their sexuality, but they'll choose suicide. You feel me? Like, that's the real choice. Like, you can't choose who you love. Never mind.
But when you look at it, and it goes back to the Black experience, when you look at these people who are there, it's not the Caucasian kids as much. It's our children that are out there. Our children, including the Latinx community children. It's our children of color that are the ones that are suffering the most. You know, there's nothing like seeing these things. Like to see, like I've gone to the shelters where these young trans girls had to live.
You're right. Why is it predominantly Black and Spanish people?
Is that? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, is it because of the strict? I don't know. I think the Black church is there's a level of strictness that comes with the Black church. It's not, you know, conservative strict, but I think it's a to the word or to the book type of strict that you have to follow the rules. And I don't know if that could be why we see it more amongst the people of color community. And that's really sad. That never crossed my mind, but that's true.
I mean, I would challenge anybody who, even if you're, you know, anybody who's, you know, faith-based or anything like that, go into some of these community centers, you know, these centers, because every city has them, you know, go into them and see what is really going on out here. You know, it's really sad to watch, to see 14, 15-year-old children thrown out like garbage. Not feeling as if someone loves them, not feeling as though, you know, something that a lot of us, we were fortunate enough to have our families, the ones who have. Imagine not having that at 14 years old during the time when you're developing who you're going to be as an adult. You know, your parents throw you literally out like garbage.
Wow.
So like in these centers, have you witnessed any ministry work? Do you see, and have you ever seen any churches go into these LGBT centers and try to reach out?
Yes. One of the people who oversaw the trans place that I went to, his name was Father Braxton, and he was a pastor. So like he was the person that was overseeing it, and I thought that was really cool. Like I think, you know, he would have them, you know, pray before meals and, you know, things of that nature. So I definitely did see that, and you know, that's awesome. But then you kind of counteract that with them thinking that I was thrown out because of the same thing. So where do you sit with that? Yes, this person is being good to me, but then my family disowned me because of, you know, their religion. So how do I have a successful relationship with God when I was told that God told them to throw me out like garbage? And unfortunately, the negativity is what lingers in you much longer than the positivity.
It's always like that, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of people that believe in God failed. I guess I just want to say the church failed. They don't put in the effort to try to understand where everyone is coming from. And then it's like also to, just like you said, the person was just there being nice, but let's unpack everything. Let's talk about everything. Let's like start doing the work. And I think that's where a lot of people fail. Like they're just like, oh, okay, well, peace out.
It's easy to throw people away, you know?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So everybody here has, like, I like to say multiple identities. Like I'm a Black woman, you know, pretty much. Yeah, like I'm a Black woman. Elquan, you're a gay Black man. So it's like we belong in different communities. I always think of myself as a woman first. I don't want to like offend anybody, but like I feel like with smart women, regardless of race, I feel like there's a little bit more community there, a little bit more sisterhood there, as opposed to just a mass of Black people. I love Black people. I love being Black. I love my Blackness. But I feel like I identify more with feminism as opposed to like, you know, like Black pride, if that makes sense. Now, do you, Elquan, do you feel like you have an allegiance as like towards Blackness or towards the LGBT community, or do you feel like those two identities can't be separated?
I feel like those two identities can't be separated because I can't turn off my queerness and I can't turn off my Blackness. I just can't. When I walk into a store, they're not going to be thinking, oh, that's a gay man, he couldn't steal. They're going to be thinking, oh, that's a Black man, he's going to steal. You know, I can't turn either one of them off. I just can't. So I cannot compartmentalize one over the other or separate it. It's all of who I am.
What about you guys? Like, do you guys feel like you can ever like pick a side between being Black or being a woman?
I don't think so. I think I what you said, Elquan, the way you articulated that, I think when I show up, you see a woman and you see a Black woman. So I think that I identify as both. I don't think that, and this may be because I'm not born in the U.S., but I don't fully identify with perhaps like African American Black culture as much as, you know, Haitian culture, because I feel like that's more of where I belong.
Same.
Right. Yeah. I think I guess I would identify as more of Haitian American, if anything. Yeah, just the way we were raised and just the things that we do, our traditions. And yeah, same as for me. It's I'm a Black woman, so it's the same everywhere I am. Like one isn't come out than the other. I don't know. Prioritized than the other. But I guess it does in certain I guess situations you're put in, maybe being a woman, like you're fighting for rights for certain things in those instances. But I also still think that there's a difference too, where, you know, obviously as a Black woman, there's more issues than if I was a white woman. Like
of course.
Yeah. So there's that dynamic. But yeah, definitely both.
So I feel like we've really covered a lot of topics. This was like really great having you on. Before I let you go, I did want to get your opinion, especially because you talked about like your feelings with homophobia in the church and stuff like that. I did want to get your feelings on Lil Nas X video. Did you see it? Was it? Yeah. Did you see that? How did you feel? I don't know how we felt. How did you feel?
I loved every minute of it.
Okay.
Here's why.
Every minute. All right.
And here's why. I think the concept of showing people the hell that us as queer men have been condemned to by the homophobia that lives in the Black church, you know, that's what he was kind of making fun of. He was making fun of, okay, well, since you're saying I'm going to hell, I'm going to go down there on a stripper pole. And when I get to Satan, I'm going to twerk on him and make him sit on my face. So, was it inappropriate? Yes, but the message behind it was something that I felt was needed because it's kind of, this is something that has been weighed over myself as a Black queer person my entire life. That uncertainty, oh, you might be going to hell or something like that. That's something that has always waved over me. So to see somebody say, you know what, to hell with it, I'm just going to be me. And if I'm going to hell, it's going to be a party. We're going to party all the way down. I respect that. Would I do
that? Very bold.
I felt the message, but it was like, wow, this little boy is really hurt. Like, the auntie in me was like, oh, baby, no, don't look. It was just like, I could see that it was coming from a place of hurt.
But I don't think it was coming from a place of hurt. I think it was more so coming from a place of, listen, it's if this is what you think that I'm going to be, then I'm going to show you that how it would be. I'm going to control my narrative. I feel like more so than anything, and again, would I do it? No. But, I love that I love that in my generation, because I'm a little older. In my generation, we didn't have it. Okay, well, listen. Okay, I am 52 years old. Don't do that. At least I feel that. But I look at it in my generation. We didn't have anything like that.
No,
we had all of our stars sitting over here trying to pretend, and then you over here like, girl.
I think
Ricky Martin was like, I'm straight, girl. So we didn't have someone who's just proud and bold, and he's a handsome chocolate man, and he's unapologetically himself.
Right.
And I think that is something that there is a certain segment of people that need to see. I think it's beautiful for everyone to see, because we don't have to allow our teachings and our past traumas to control our narrative anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's what that is showing. That is showing that we can be we are all these things. We don't have to be just one thing, because that's what we've always been told. There's a lot of things that our parents have taught us that may not be relevant to how we live today.
Mm.
And there's a lot of things that happen in a lot of people's upbringing that's not relative to how it is today. And we have to be able to change with the times. Mm-hmm. And I love that he decided that, you know what, I'm going to control this narrative. This is something that has weighed heavy on me my entire life, and a lot of young queer people, especially Black ones. I'm going to control this narrative. If I'm going down, this is how it's going to go down. Mm. It's about controlling the narrative. And I think that that's what the ultimate message is.
You know what I feel like when I see videos like that? I feel like Russell Simmons with the N-word, like other people are using like this traumatic thing and like, oh, I'm liberated, like you can't make this hurt me anymore. And I'm sitting there like, no, this is, but then I'm not in the community, so never mind. That's not the greatest analogy, but it's still like, I see that it's liberating for him to do art like that, but it still hurts me as a believer that he's like jaded, if that makes sense. Like it looks jaded. Yeah. Like he's giving up, kind of.
Well, see, I think that there has to be like a someplace in the middle. I don't think he's giving up. He's just saying, this is what they used to hurt me. Mm. And I think that as people that wear different hats, we all can relate to that in some way. Your hat's going to be different than mine because, like you guys said, you guys are Black women. So there's going to be something that is going to be held over you, like probably the angry gimmick, that all Black women are angry, they're uneducated, they're this. It would be so cool. It's so cool when you see Black women say that, I'm not going to allow you to put that over me. I'm not going to allow you to tell me who I am. I'm going to control the narrative. I'm educated. I can start businesses. I can do all these things. I can still be sexy, but I can also be a God-fearing woman. I can wear all these different hats. Mm. And I think that's what he's trying to do. And I think that to see that for anybody who does it, because I love WAP, that song. I love what that song represented, because at the end of the day, it's women taking power of their sexuality and saying, this is what I like. This is what I like to do. This is what I want you to do to me. Not some guy saying, oh, well, sex is my own and it's something to make me gratified through you. I think that that song was very empowering to women, because I think it's these women saying that this is what I like sexually. It's not about satisfying a man. It's about getting satisfaction for themselves. And I think for so long, we've been conditioned to believe that sex is for men. Women are not allowed to enjoy, or not allowed to be sexual beings. They're not allowed to enjoy sex. And because of that, you know, we've always had these songs. This is why when Snoop Dogg was like, oh, I have a problem with it. And you're like,
Thank
girl,
you. Thank
girl,
you. All the nasty
girl,
stuff that
You got a problem with?
girl.
He was like, basically, he was just like, oh, slow down, like keep that for like the intimacy. And it's like, wait, but
The singer of It Ain't Fun Unless My Homies Get Some. That guy. That guy. That guy. It ain't fun unless my homies have none. That guy is the one who's saying slow down.
And that's what I really don't respect. It's really the fact that you as a woman have the audacity, like you said, to take that narrative. Like, no, we're supposed to use sex as a way to like not oppress you, but like kind of put you down, like you this, you know, kind of way to regulate women. So when you like take that narrative and like say it in an empowering way, it's threatening, and you need to be humble. Like I don't appreciate that.
Right. And it's like these men, like, they are so like vulgar and descriptive when it comes to their lyrics, like to the point you're just like, oh, like sometimes you listen to something.
And those are the first one. This is a part two, the double standards in sexuality. Boom. That is totally valid. That's totally a valid topic. But I guess we have to wrap it up. Elquan, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for having me. This was fun. We gotta do this again. This was fun.
If we do the double standards of sexuality.
Absolutely, because I got a lot to say about that. Absolutely.
On recording.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and I was actually gonna say something about like the Lil Nas X video. Like when you were talking about, you know, he's just taking the narrative and the fact that like he was hurt from it. That's what I feel like is always the thing that's like amplified, if anything, like more so of like how much like church people or whoever, people who believe in God, like they just amplified how that's a sin. Like that's more like that comes out more than the love. And I think that's where the main issue is here. It's like that's like a narrative that a lot of people say that they've dealt with and gone through, and like bullying and suicide, all these different things. And it's just, I think that's where the church failed for real. So
well, I have a joke with that. And my joke is, everyone says that being gay is such a sin, but it didn't make it into God's top 10. So
I was gonna ask a dumb question, like legitimately dumb question. So where in the Bible does it say that it's a sin? I know it says it's an abomination, but where does it say that this act will separate you from God?
I don't know, but I know that.
This is a dumb question. I'm not saying, oh, there's no verse. No. I would like to see that. I don't know.
I mean, all of us don't know the Bible, the whole Bible, or I don't even claim to be a Bible expert either. But I know that Paul speaks about practicing or homosexuality or sexual immorality, but I don't know if it says, you know, homosexuality is a sin or whatever. I don't know if it says that or if it exists. But that's
an abomination. I feel you on that, because like that could, when I hear it's an abomination, it doesn't necessarily mean the person is an abomination.
Yeah. I think, to me, the way that I see it, I think that we as a human race, like there's so much mystery that we don't know about ourselves that it is very mind-boggling when somebody comes with a thought and thinks that their interpretation is what is what is it. But for me, I think I'm at a point where I'm willing to learn and listen to everybody. Because I know what I believe and what I read in the Bible, but I love all people and I want to hear everybody's perspective because God loves everybody.
Bible verse. No, that's a Bible verse right there. Like James 1:19, it says, listen first, be slow to speak. That's how you love. You know, you don't just have your own judgments and you just like throw it out. No, you listen first and then be slow to speak. I love that.
And I think to what Elquan said earlier from, you know, someone has a trans child and you at 14 throw your kid out of the house, that is not love.
What?
And that's like, to me, like that almost makes me, like it makes me very emotional to think about that that's something that happens every day.
All the time.
And it's not just trans. I know like some people could say, like I know a cousin of mine personally that came out as gay and he was ostracized by the whole family for that. But that's
they think it's
love.
a choice. They dead think it's a choice though. They think it's something that he's doing on his own volition. Why would someone choose to have their whole family hate them? Like, why would someone choose? Like, you know what? I kind of want to shake the girls up a little bit. No one chooses that.
Right.
Controversy.
It's not a stage and it's not an act of rebellion. And I think that's where, and there's no, I think the church is not willing to listen, and therefore the LGBTQ community also is not willing to listen. So there's not, I don't know if when or if we'll come to a place where the two communities will come together and be able to talk.
There are gay churches.
That's true.
Yeah, there are a lot of gay churches, so maybe
but I don't know if it'll become mainstream church.
It can be. It can be, because I just think that people have to understand that as we evolve as people, the traditions that we knew then have evolved as well. We can't live the way that our grandparents lived because it's not indicative to how the time is now. We can hold some of the same morals, but we cannot live exactly the way that they live. You know, back then women didn't work when our grandparents were around. Now guys want to have the stay-at-home wife, but then the wife that also works, and you can't have both. You have to, you know, we've evolved. So our mindsets have to evolve. And the moment that the churches realize that there is something in there to evolve to, that this is all about love at the end of the day. And we should, if we can accept people in their bonnets and whatever the case may have you and come as you are, then we should be able to accept everyone to come as you are.
Yes.
If you want to wear your blonde gilded today, come as you are. If you want to wear your high heels today, come as you are. If you want to wear your Gucci, come as you are. Everyone needs to come as they are, because that's how I personally feel, as though if God was here right now, that's what God would be about. Jesus would be hanging out in the village.
Oh, come on,
with the girls, okay? Because that's where he's needed most.
He's coming to take hold,
okay.
Yeah. All the
he's gonna be over there with the girls.
Right.
So, you know, even Matthew, the tax collector, back in those days, the tax collectors used to rob from the people, like legally take money from them that they weren't supposed to take. They were collecting for the government, but also they would put some in their pocket. So that's a known thief, but that was one of Jesus's disciples. So I think when we lead with the hate, people don't get to hear the message.
Yes. And that's all applied by the enemy. The enemy wants that. He wants the separation, you know?
The division, because if we're all divided against each other, then we're not a strong front. There's no way, you know. That's why, unfortunately, the queer people are able to advance a little bit more quicker than I would say African American people are, because we're so divided as Black people. As Black people, we are so divided. We're so worried about this, that, and the third, and not worrying about, let's come together so we could fix some of this. Let's take some of the traits that our queer brothers and sisters are using to get the messages and the things that they want to get accomplished. Let's utilize some of those things, and let's get some change for ourselves. But there's a problem in that.
That's a good point. Yeah, like what is the Black agenda? But you don't really know, but you can name what the LGBTQ agenda is, like what we want to achieve in that. That's a fair point.
Yeah, and then the other piece to it too, that it becomes like a struggle fest. Like, oh, my struggles.
Yeah, right.
What's your struggle? It's like, why are we
Slavery.
We're both suffering.
right at this point?
Something like me.
Right.
I was in the cotton fields.
Right. You was in the house. Right.
You had AC. I was in the sun. How dare you?
I had no pillow every day, all night.
But yeah, no, those are some really great points though. Yeah, we could
Can
definitely one another.
Can I definitely say that you ladies, I want to commend you ladies, because I don't think you guys understand how important these type of conversations are, and how through you guys allowing me on your platform, and I thank you for that, we could probably create some sort of or start the healing of change. This conversation is very important because there shouldn't be so much divide when it comes to faith and people just loving people the way that they love people. And I want to commend the three of you guys, honestly, for understanding that and you guys are creating change, whether you know it or not, through this platform. And I just want to commend all three of you guys for that.
That's so sweet. I'm literally my eyes are watering up.
Me too.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you for coming on our show and enlightening whoever listens to us. You know, like you said, hopefully, if we at least heal or bring understanding to one person, boom, God's work. Feel me?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure.
The more shows like this that exist, I promise you, this is how change, because this is that evolution that I was talking about. People watch podcasts, people listen to podcasts now. This is how evolution starts. This is how we start that healing, through these type of conversations.
Elquan, thank you again for being on our show. We're definitely, when I hit you up for this part 2, right? I have it on recording that you said you'd be doing it. So
listen. I'm known as a male basher, so I'm in.
Male bashing episode. I don't want, but sometimes I'll be like into male bash too. So that's why.
Listen, I speak truth, but if you receive that as male bashing, I'll have it. I'm just very pro women. That's what it is. And I think people are not used to that, from especially a Black male. Like, there's a lot of media where Black males attack Black women. And for me, I'm gonna be like, on my past show this week.
That's why I'm more protective of women as opposed, because like when thinking about my personal story, whenever I get attacked, it's from Black men. I'm not saying I've never experienced racist stuff from white women. No, I'm not saying that, but Black men, maybe Black men,
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. And then even in the media, Black men be hurting my feelings. like with the whole Tory Lanez and the baby thing. That wow, look at us. Dang. Anyways.
Yeah.
So before we turn into another topic, that's literally a whole nother show.
I'm down for that one too.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks for tuning in. And this is A Word at the Table. Subscribe, comment. If you have any questions or comments, let us know. I think that's it, right?
That's it. All right, bye guys.
All right.